Today, I want to share these words with you. Knowing them can transform the way people around you react to you. The impact of words, unlocking emotional connections with simple expressions. Perhaps you've already noticed that some people can create an instant connection with anyone they are talking to. It almost seems like magic. Your words draw them in, and the person on the other side can't look away. What we often don't realize is that this magic lies in the specific words they choose and, more importantly, in the way they express them. In any relationship, especially when the goal is to create attraction, words play an essential role. Communication is not just about sharing information, but creating emotional resonance, and sometimes the simplest phrases have the greatest impact. Once, a wise woman shared a profound truth with me. People will remember how you made them feel, not necessarily what you said. This realization is transformative, as it reinforces that the emotional impact of words is far more powerful than their literal content. Think about it. When you say something that makes the person feel valued and understood, you activate deep emotional responses. Women, in particular, tend to respond more to the feeling behind the words than to the words themselves. They pick up on subtle cues, and that's why mastering the emotional aspect of communication can make the difference between leaving a deep mark or being easily forgotten. It may be surprising, but simple phrases like "I understand" or "you're right" elicit intense emotional reactions. When said sincerely, these words convey empathy and validation, two of the most powerful feelings in creating a human connection. When a woman feels understood, she also feels safe, appreciated, and comfortable in your presence. This type of emotional connection is the foundation for authentic and lasting attraction. However, it's not just about the words themselves, but also about the right moment, the tone of voice and body language. A sincere tone, combined with eye contact and the right posture, amplifies the impact of these simple phrases. When your words reflect your actions, they create a potent effect that leaves an unforgettable mark. Many men make a mistake here. They say the right words but lack the authenticity and emotional depth that women instinctively perceive. In summary, creating emotional connections is not about mastering perfect phrases or knowing exactly what to say all the time. It's about picking up the emotional current of each conversation and using words that deeply touch the listener. When you understand this principle, even the simplest expressions can transform how women see you. How two simple words can redefine how women perceive you. They say first impressions are everything, but many don't realize how powerful the few words they choose in those crucial moments can be. When it comes to how women perceive you, the right choice of words can have an extraordinary impact, especially when used intelligently. You don't need an elaborate speech or an exquisite vocabulary to leave a mark. Often, just two simple words, said genuinely and at the right moment, can change everything. Have you ever stopped to think about how something as simple as validation can be incredibly powerful? We all want to feel seen and acknowledged, and this is even more intense for women who often seek an emotional connection in their relationships. When you validate someone's feelings or experiences with simple words like "I understand" or "I care," you go beyond a mere response. You're showing that you genuinely care about what she feels and respect her worldview. The impact of these words is not just in their letters, but in what they represent. Saying something like "I understand" can dissolve barriers in a discussion, strengthen a friendship, or even open the door for a more intimate connection. These words elicit deep emotional responses and meet one of our greatest needs, to be recognized and valued. When a woman feels truly heard, her perception of you changes. You go from being an ordinary person to someone who truly understands her, creating a much more meaningful bond. Another example of powerful words is "thank you." This may sound obvious, but it's surprising how often genuine gratitude is overlooked. When you express a sincere thank you, you go beyond mere courtesy. You acknowledge the effort and presence of that person. Women, especially those who dedicate a lot of themselves to relationships, notice when that effort is recognized. A simple and heartfelt thank you makes them feel valued, strengthening the bond and elevating their perception of you. It's not about overdoing compliments, but being present enough to express that gratitude authentically. Moreover, the timing and tone of these words are crucial. Imagine being in a conversation, and just when you least expect it, the other person stops, looks into your eyes and says, "I understand," or "Thank you for sharing that." This transforms a common interaction into a meaningful moment where she truly feels valued. These small forms of recognition create a deeper emotional connection in conversations. So, how can you use this to strengthen how women perceive you? The secret lies in sincerity. It's not enough to just repeat phrases. You need to feel what you are saying. When you connect with someone, be 100% present, listen attentively, and at the right moment, use those powerful phrases to validate her feelings or express your appreciation. Over time, this habit will transform how people see you, making you appear more attentive, emotionally intelligent, and attractive on a deeper level. These words are not magic tricks but tools to strengthen real connections. When you make a woman feel seen, heard, and valued, not only does her perception of you change, but you also create more authentic and meaningful relationships. It's these emotional connections that leave the most lasting impressions. The attraction code, lessons from a wise woman. Often, we see attraction as something mysterious and beyond our control. But what if there were a secret and subtle language that could help trigger attraction? It's not about memorizing lines or trying to be something you're not. Instead, it's about understanding the emotional signals and subconscious messages that create strong bonds. This wisdom, imparted by an experienced woman, shows how anyone can access this hidden power. A few years ago, I spoke with an older, wise woman who had spent her life observing human relationships. She taught me that true attraction arises when you make the other person feel understood and valued, and this begins with how you communicate, both verbally and non-verbally. Her concept was clear. Attraction is more about emotional resonance than any physical characteristic or superficial charm. Think about how many times a connection grows when you show genuine interest in what the other person has to say. When you listen without interrupting and respond thoughtfully, you create an environment where the other person feels important. And it's at that moment that attraction begins to blossom, not by impressing with your words, but by demonstrating that her words matter. She also emphasized the importance of eye contact. Maintaining genuine eye contact without excess generates a connection that words cannot reach. It conveys confidence and sincerity. Women, in particular, are very receptive to these nonverbal signals, and by genuinely focusing on her, you communicate respect and attention. Another strong point of this wisdom is the power of subtle gestures. She would say that small acts, like a light touch on the arm or a warm smile, can have a huge impact. These displays, when done naturally and respectfully, convey warmth and emotional presence. Often, these discreet gestures speak louder than grand declarations, as they show that you are truly in the moment, engaged in the interaction, and attentive to how she feels. Additionally, she highlighted the importance of speaking with integrity. The words you choose should always convey sincerity. Forced compliments and exaggerated praise may catch attention but sound empty. Instead, she advised expressing genuine interest in what the other person thinks and feels. Phrases like, "Tell me more about that," or "That's an interesting perspective," show that you care about what she has to say, and that is much more effective in creating real attraction. The central point of this wisdom is authenticity. Attraction isn't about tricks or manipulations. It's about creating real connections by being present, attentive, and sincere. When you communicate genuinely, people naturally feel drawn to you. In particular, women respond well to emotional sincerity because it represents stability, maturity, and confidence, qualities fundamental to real relationships. The so-called secret language of attraction isn't really a secret. It's about understanding the emotional needs that create human connection. It's about listening more than talking, using nonverbal cues like eye contact and subtle gestures, and choosing words that express sincerity and genuine interest. This wisdom, shared by a woman with extensive life experience, reminds us that true attraction is built on how we make people feel. By understanding this principle, you gain the key to creating deep connections that go beyond superficiality. Communication is one of the most essential skills in any relationship. However, when it comes to building attraction and understanding with women, it becomes even more crucial. The ability to connect genuinely through words, tone, and body language can make the difference between creating a meaningful bond or ending up being misunderstood. After all, what truly makes women listen? The answer goes far beyond knowing what to say. It's about how you say it, the emotional resonance you create, and the authenticity you put into each word. One of the most important pillars of communication is empathy. Women tend to be sensitive to the level of empathy they feel coming from someone during a conversation. This doesn't mean agreeing with everything, but rather showing that you understand their emotions and viewpoints. Listening attentively and responding in a way that acknowledges her feelings creates a sense of emotional presence. Small phrases like, "I understand how this might be difficult for you," or "that must have been really challenging," make her feel heard and validated. It's a common mistake to try to offer solutions or advice quickly. While the intention to help is natural, many times women prefer to feel understood rather than receive an immediate solution. By resisting the urge to solve the problem and focusing on listening with empathy, you allow the conversation to flow in a deeper and more respectful manner. This creates a safe, emotional space where she feels free to express herself without judgment or interruptions. Authenticity is also fundamental. Women often have a keen perception for noticing when someone is being dishonest. If you try to impress by using cliches or expressions that don't reflect your true thoughts, the effect can be counterproductive. Being authentic doesn't mean laying your heart bare completely, but rather speaking with sincerity and coherence. When your words align with your emotions and intentions, they become much more impactful. One way to demonstrate authenticity is through active listening. This involves not just hearing, but genuinely engaging in what the other person is saying. Maintaining eye contact, nodding affirmatively, and responding thoughtfully shows that you are truly present. Questions like, "I've never thought of it that way, can you explain more?" create an environment of exchange and sincere dialogue. This demonstrates that you are genuinely interested, which deepens the connection. The tone of voice also plays a crucial role in how your message is received. A calm and confident tone conveys security and warmth. Your posture speaks for you as well. Remaining relaxed and open in body language indicates receptiveness and interest. Leaning slightly forward suggests attentiveness to what she is saying, while a slight smile or a gentle nod reassures her that you are engaged. On the other hand, crossed arms or avoiding eye contact may suggest a lack of interest or discomfort. The timing of your words also makes a difference. Knowing when to speak and when to listen is an art. Interrupting or rushing to express your ideas can cut the conversation short and make her feel undervalued. Practicing patience and allowing her the space to finish what she's saying shows respect and strengthens the bond. In the end, what really captivates a woman's attention is a combination of empathy, authenticity, and genuine attentiveness. It's not about having all the right answers, but about creating a sincere connection through your words and actions. When someone feels valued, understood, and respected, they are much more likely to engage deeply with you. After all, communication is about the emotional impact you generate in others. 2 words to win hearts. When it comes to building a meaningful connection, especially in romantic relationships, many believe that grand gestures are necessary to win someone over. However, the reality is much simpler. 2 small yet powerful words have the potential to transform how someone perceives you and evoke deep feelings. What are these magic words? "I understand" and "thank you." Although they may seem simple, the emotional power behind these expressions is immense. True connection is formed by the feeling of being understood and valued. In romantic relationships, this is even more important, as emotional understanding creates the foundation for trust and intimacy. By saying "I understand" sincerely, you communicate that you value what the other person feels and stand by them. This generates a genuine emotional connection and strengthens the bond between you. Women, by instinct, quickly pick up on nonverbal cues, which means your body language also communicates a lot about your intentions. An open posture, consistent eye contact, and gestures that show interest help create an atmosphere of trust and warmth. On the other hand, signals like crossed arms, avoidance of eye contact, or turning your body away can indicate disinterest or discomfort, negatively impacting the interaction's dynamics. Women tend to perceive these emotional nuances with greater sensitivity due to their evolutionary role in interpreting social and emotional signals. So, if you say something positive but your posture suggests otherwise, it's likely that body language will be interpreted as more sincere. The combination of empathy, authenticity, and aligned body language creates powerful communication that transcends words and builds truly meaningful relationships. Good listening is an essential skill in subtle communication. Practicing active listening, paying real attention, nodding in agreement, maintaining eye contact, and responding thoughtfully shows that you are genuinely present and engaged. Such signals are highly valued, especially by women, as they reflect care and respect. It's not just about hearing what is said, but about grasping the emotional context of a conversation, responding with empathy to the emotions behind the words, rather than just the words themselves, makes a significant difference in how you are perceived. Another aspect of subtle language is mirroring, which involves discreetly imitating the behavior or posture of the person speaking. Women, in particular, respond well to this as it creates a sense of harmony and resonance. If she, for example, crosses her legs or leans in, you can naturally replicate that without effort. This mirroring signals that you are in tune with her, both physically and emotionally, contributing to a stronger and more comfortable connection. Choosing the right words is another essential point. While it's important to be direct at specific moments, women generally appreciate more delicate or suggested language in sensitive conversations. Instead of saying, "You should do this," which sounds authoritative, try something like, "Have you thought about this?" This opens up space for reflection and shows respect for her autonomy. Small adjustments in language can make a big difference in how your message is received. Pauses are also a powerful tool in subtle communication. A pause before responding allows the other person to feel that your words are being carefully considered. This helps avoid impulsive reactions, making the conversation more thoughtful and increasing the impact of your response. In the end, subtle communication is about perceiving nonverbal signals. Women are sensitive to emotional cues that may go unnoticed by others. Mastering these subtleties drastically improves your ability to connect on a deeper level. It's not just about the words, but about the tone, gestures, and energy that accompany your message. By noticing these details, you transform communication and strengthen your relationships. Unleashing hidden charisma, the secret of experienced women to attract. Charisma is often seen as something mysterious, but in reality, it is not an unreachable skill. It is something that can be cultivated and is based on how you connect with others. To attract, charisma is essential, and women are drawn to men who demonstrate genuine confidence, emotional intelligence, and empathy. The pillars of true charisma. An experienced woman shared the secret to unleashing this charisma, making others feel valued. True charisma lies in the ability to make someone feel special. This does not mean over-the-top compliments, but rather showing interest and being present. She emphasized that charisma is grounded in how you listen and engage emotionally with others. Women perceive sincerity in emotional connections, distinguishing when someone is genuine or just trying to impress. The key to charisma is total presence. Being present is not just about hearing words, but understanding emotions and responding with empathy. When you are genuinely focused on her rather than what you will say next, you create a magnetic connection. Another aspect of charisma is confidence without arrogance. The most charismatic people exude self-assurance, but do not need to boast. Confidence attracts because it shows you are comfortable with yourself, but it must be balanced with humility. Arrogance repels, while quiet confidence draws people in. Empathy is essential. The ability to understand and share feelings transforms conversations into meaningful connections. Charismatic people not only speak well but listen and make others feel heard. The older woman explained that by demonstrating empathy, you create a safe space for authentic expression. Body language is another important factor. Charismatic people maintain an open posture, eye contact, and relaxed gestures, signaling confidence and approachability. Women notice these subtle signals and respond subconsciously. Open body language generates comfort and interest. Finally, authenticity is crucial for charisma. It's not about pretending to be something you're not. True charisma comes from authenticity. The older woman reminded that people can sense when someone is fake, and this quickly weakens any connection. In conclusion, charisma and true connection do not depend on extravagant gestures. It is in the subtleties and sincerity that we truly create bonds. As this woman's experience teaches us, the secret to attracting and connecting lies in making others feel valued and understood. By cultivating genuine interaction, you unlock the charisma that naturally attracts.